very common for them to be seen on their own. Now you said you did mention that it was bigger than a dog. What sort of breed of dog would you compare that to as far as
Oh,
being bigger?
okay. Well, like I said, it had sort of had a largish chest sort of thing. Well, I had sort of like a half dingo Belgian Shepherd cross. It would be bigger than that. And he sort of came, from what I remember, he sort of came up to past my knees there. I've had a Rottweiler. I'm not sure if you could say she was chunky. I mean, maybe his chest, maybe the chest was that, that sort of it was just like a weird, funny chest and neck, and the neck sort of sloped down a bit. I don't know. It's hard to say.
As big as a German Shepherd?
I'd say, yeah, maybe just a tad little bit bigger, I'd say. It seemed a little bit more, I don't know. I'm thinking of a German Shepherd that I know, and I'd say a little bit more, it seemed a little bit more, I don't know, muscular. I don't know if you could say muscular because it's sort of a distance. But maybe around the German Shepherd size then.
Okay, but it didn't look like it was hungry. It looked like it was fit and well fed.
Yes, yeah. And like I said, I sort of, if it was the way I seen it walking, I said, is it a little bit sick maybe? Has it got like arthritis in its legs or something? It just didn't walk like a normal dog or dingo.
Yeah, just about everybody I speak to, and that is amounting into the hundreds now, mentions the unusual way these things walk. That is very, very common.
Yes, and like I said, it's hard to describe. It did not walk like a normal dog. It just walked funny. I don't know. It's really, really hard to explain.
Yeah, no, the fact that you're saying it the way you are is quite quite positive as far as the ID goes, really, because like I said, everyone says this thing walked really weird. Some people say it was like it was limping. Other people say it was like it was drunk or injured in the way it walked. But nearly everybody mentions that there was something really unusual about the way it walked.
Well, like I said, it sort of reminded me of when a couple of my old dogs, when it sort of had they had a bit of arthritis in the hip, it sort of had a...
Yep, just a bit stiff and a bit awkward.
Yeah, and then the head sort of seemed to be not in the normal place where a dog would be.
Is that because
in a different place? It sort of was a bit more lower, like the neck was lower, and it had like a different sort of a chest, and like I said, is it sick or depressed? Like I said, in your mind you're saying that's a dog, it's got four legs, it's got the tail's coming down, but it's in the wrong area, like I said. Its bum looked weird shaped, sort of had the bum sort of like it had prolapse or something to it, and it's had the straight sort of ish back a bit, and then the head sort of was in the wrong place. It was, you know what I mean? It was sort of just in the wrong place, but it had the space where you could see there was definitely four legs moving.
Yeah, yeah. And it had a long muzzle like a dog.
Well, yes, yes, it would. I would have said it, yes, because, like I said, the way the neck was placed on if you skinned it, I suppose you could say, if you skinned that thing, I would say the skeleton of the neck was sort of lower and down.
Okay.
And yes, probably the face was long as well, because, like I said, the whole front looked different. It was just, we went through the things. Was it a kangaroo? No, that's not a kangaroo. Was it a wombat? Definitely not a wombat. Koala? No, not a koala.
Because you're challenging your perception of what you've just seen.
Yeah, we're going, what is it? And he goes, dog. He says, well, it's a damn dog. I said, yeah, I know it's a dog, but what kind of a dog do you think we're getting closer? And he goes, I don't know what bloody dog it is. It's just like, it was a dog that we had not seen. It was, yes, and like I said, it's just, my brain said, oh, that's a Tassie tiger. And I even said, there's a tiger. And he goes, oh, no, yeah, and he goes, yeah, could be.
Yeah, well, you run out of options, don't you?
Yeah, it's just like that's what my brain said. And I made the joke after that, and then I come home, start unpacking, and then I got on and I think that's the same shape. It's the same thing. And I thought, no, my brain told me that. It went through all the things, and I see that, and that's what definitely.
They can actually hop like a kangaroo as well.
Oh, okay then.
We had a sighting in South Australia back in May where a couple saw one, and it was kind of running across the road in an awkward way, and as they were getting closer to it, it decided it needed to get a move on, so it actually hopped off the road 3 times. It took 3 hops to get out the way.
So when it needs to get its speed up, it gets a different...
Yeah, it'll change its locomotion completely if it needs to.
Okay.
More often
I
than not...
Still think,
sorry, go on.
oh, no, I was going to say, yeah, if you sort of... I still think it's got a creature of habit. I reckon if I went back there and sat there up in the corner, I'd see it again.
Yeah, you probably would. It might take a couple of weeks or a month, but it would definitely probably go through there again, I'd say.
Yeah. And do they, when you're saying that they sort of got a bit of a skip hop to it, so that means they could do a bit of a jump?
Absolutely. I've got sightings from Tasmania where they just go back on their hind legs and leap straight up an embankment 10, 12 feet in one bound.
Okay.
And actually, we also found evidence to suggest that they can clear a cyclone fence, and that was just south of Perth. So that these footprints come running up to this cyclone fence, then they disappear, and then they continued on the other side of the cyclone fence, and that was about 8, 9 feet high.
Oh, okay.
So they're very capable at jumping.
Oh, okay.
So, I try not to rule anything out with what people tell me because, you know, the minute you start trying to rule things out, you're sort of limiting the possibilities, really.
Yeah.
And people, you know, are usually pretty passionate about what they've seen because they want to, you know, tell someone that might want to listen to them and not laugh at them because it's important. You know, it's a really profound thing when it happens.
Yes, a lot. Like I said, I'm pretty well adamant. I'm up near the 100%. I've seen what I've seen.
Excellent. Pixie, I record these interviews and sometimes I put them on YouTube because people love to hear about them.
Okay.
Are you okay with that, or you prefer to keep this? Okay, cool. No worries.
Yeah, that should be okay. I mean, I don't think anyone really knows me.
No, you'll be fine. No one's going to come and knock on your door because of it or anything like that.
Okay. So what happens, like, let's say if this one was found, like, you know, someone sees it months down the track. What is the protocol? Do they go and shoot the thing, or what happens?
The government tend to tell people they don't know what they're talking about. They saw a mangy fox, and they do nothing about it. What we have in Australia is a situation where we literally have thousands of these sightings all over the country, and we have these idiots that call themselves scientists that don't want to investigate it, know anything about it, and tell everyone that they don't know what they saw. So it's pretty bizarre because the scientists really do look like idiots because of their ignorance, basically. But yeah, national parks don't do anything about it. But I wouldn't trust the government with anything as far as what they would or wouldn't do. In Tasmania, they do nothing about it. They like to pretend it doesn't exist because it might get in the way of their logging industry if they had to accept that it's still here, you know.
Yeah, well, this is around farming land, so I'm sort of worried,
Yeah, look, generally speaking, I've been looking for these things for 8 years and I've only gotten near them a couple of times. It's pretty safe. The worst case scenario is these 1080 baits that they drop everywhere from the sky every now and then.
Yeah, I did think about that too in the week that I've been home.
Yeah.
They've been dropping them up when we was up camping. So.
Yeah. You'd have to be a pretty good hunter with a fair amount of resource to track one down and actually catch it. You really would. So they're pretty safe. I think they're pretty safe. The numbers are definitely increasing. Sooner or later, someone's going to run one over or get very, very clear footage of one. and the cat will be out the bag basically, and they might have to admit something instead of denying it all the time. But as long as they can keep denying it exists, they'll continue to do so.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I'm really not worried about redneck hunters going out looking for them, because I'm telling you now, these things are smart and they're very elusive. So
yeah. Well, I suppose they've been avoiding us now for a while now, haven't they? So,
yeah, they're a very free animal, and I think that's what they represent. A lot of freedom, because they just slink around. Every now and then they slip up, someone sees one, and then they're gone again. Basically, it's almost like magic. They're there and then they're gone.
Yep.
But they are creatures of habit. Yeah, they definitely do go through the same areas, and you'll have these sightings hot spots for sure.
Okay.
So I'll remember the name of that area anyway, and I'll mark it down, and we'll see if anything else pops up out there.
Okay, then. Okay, that'll be good. I'd like to know if anyone else sees one out there as well.
For sure. All right. Well, thanks very much for your time and your information. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for listening to me wobble on there, but I hope you understand what I see.
No, I don't. I totally understand it. Our YouTube channel is awash with these sightings. I think I've put about 70 on there in the last 8 months. So it's it's definitely a happening thing. You're not alone.
Oh, good then. Oh, good.
All right. So you can tell your driver that he can stop living in denial now and just accept what he saw.
I have been telling him that all week.
Excellent. All right.
Okay.
Well, if anything else happens, you've got my number. Just give us a call.
Okay, we'll do. Well, like I said, we'll be probably heading up there in another 4 months. Hopefully we may see another one.
All right. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.